Okay, we are on Facebook as well. So welcome everyone to our Havdalah with a bonus program this evening. And I want to turn things over to Rabbi Esserman.
Thank you. Tonight's story is about Shmuel. Now, Shmuel lived in a small town where everybody knew everybody. And when he was trying to get his Friday night meal together so that he'd be able to celebrate Shabbat, he just found that he didn't have any money. And he would go to the market, but all he had in his bag so far were a couple of sardines and a carrot, because that was all that he could afford. So up ahead, he saw Moshe, the fruit seller, and thought, well, maybe Moshe will give him a couple of apples, bruised apples. He didn't expect fresh ones, but bruised apples like he does every other week. Here comes Shmuel, the fool, expecting us to give away our merchandise, no doubt, said Moshe. Well, not me, not this time, I've had it. You shouldn't talk that way, said Razel the baker. Shmuel, come over here. I have a challah for you. It's a little lopsided, and I don't think it's cooked all the way through, but it's yours if she wanted it. She dropped the misshapen challah into his bag and pushed him along before he could even say thank you. Well, if you ask me, said Moshe, we should all stop giving him charity. Shmuel has a job. Shmuel has no children to provide for. So why does he come around here begging every week? He must just spend his money foolishly. Oh, he's not too bad. He's just not too bright, Razel said, even though Shmuel was still standing just there. He trusts that God will provide. God? You said God will provide, Moshe said, shaking his head. It seems to me that we're doing the providing. But that's a good idea. Next time, let Shmuel ask God for help. I still have to earn a living. With those voices ringing in his head, Shmuel trudged home to his little shack on top of the hill. He found himself walking slower and slower as he thought, maybe his neighbors were right. Had he been taking advantage of their charity? He certainly didn't want to do that. Maybe he should ask God for help. So Shmuel burst into a run and raced to his house, where he grabbed a nub of a pencil and a scrap of a paper and sat down at his bare kitchen table. His stomach grumbled, but he said, don't worry, Tummy, you won't be hungry for long. So Shmuel began to write. Dear God, his letter said, I was wondering if perhaps you might help me. Your humble servant Shmuel. As usual, I'm running out of money. I just don't know where it all goes. So I'm turning to you for help. Maybe you can teach me to manage my money a little better. Meanwhile, if you could send me some food, my stomach and all the vendors in the market would be very grateful. And he signed it. Shmuel the fool. Then he went outside, and when he felt a strong gust of wind, he let go of the letter and watched the paper float away. Then he hurried inside to eat his Shabbat dinner with a feast of sardines and a half-baked challah. But the wind didn't take his letter to God. Instead, the letter skimmed over the hilltops like a dove. It flew over houses and through the trees. It flew over valleys and hills, past gardens and lakes, until it finally landed in the palace courtyard. In fact, the letter fell right at the feet of the queen herself. She read the letter over and over. Imagine, she thought, wiping away tears. Imagine that a letter from such a faithful soul should land just at my feet. I'm sure this is a sign from God telling me I should help this poor man. The queen commanded her servants to take a wagon and fill it with food and wine and clothing and coins to bring to Shmuel's house. And make sure no one sees you, the queen warned him, for this is an act of charity commanded by God. One blustery night, about a month later, Shmuel was woken by an insistent knock, 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 knock on his shack. It was a weary traveler asking for a place to rest. Shmuel was too busy poking around bustling around and getting an extra blanket to notice that, in spite of her dusty clothes, his guest had a noble air. In fact, the guest was a queen herself, who, out of curiosity, wanted to see whether or not her charity had helped Shmuel the fool. The queen's eyes darted around the small room, but the more she looked, the more disappointed she was. Where were the precious clothes, the fine wine? There was no sign of her gifts at all. There didn't seem to even be much food in the pantry. Then the queen spotted one of her wine goblets on the mantel. "Say, isn't this a wonderful goblet?" she said. "Oh, yes," said Shmuel, smiling a little. "It came from God." "Really?" the queen said, leaning forward expectantly. "How so?" She finally would discover where the rest of her charity had gone. "Oh, well," Shmuel said, sitting down with a sigh. "I once asked God for help, and the next thing you know, a great treasure was sitting on my doorstep, enough to last a lifetime. If only what?" the queen prodded. "If only I hadn't gone and spent it the way I always do." Shmuel shook his head miserably. "The food went to the children at the orphanage, and the wine to the synagogue, of course. And the clothes went for the dowry for poor brides. And there were coins too. Wait, what happened? Oh, the roof of the school needed to be fixed. What else? You see, I've already lost track of it all. But it doesn't matter because the treasure is gone, all except for this goblet," he said, cradling it. "I'm saving it as a reminder of God's kindness to me. But I don't deserve it. I didn't change. It's true what everyone says. I'm just as foolish as ever." The queen said nothing. The next morning, however, when she returned to the palace, she helped to load a wagon with food and wine and clothing and coins. She instructed her servants to bring the wagon to the little shack on the hill and deliver another one just like it every month to Shmuel forever. And that is our story for tonight.
Thank you very much. As we're going to make Havdalah, we're also going to count the Omer. And so I'm going to put first the Omer blessing in the chat so that we will all have that to be able to say that together. And then I will put the Havdalah blessings after that. If I do it ahead of time, then the only people who will see it are whoever are in the room at the time I post it. So that's why I have to wait to post it until right before we're ready. And we are moving along with the counting of the Omer. Seems like, does it seem that long ago that it was Pesach? We're already to the 35th day, and the 50th day is Shavuot, and that will start 2 weeks from tonight. So that week, I don't think we'll probably make Havdalah because it's a little different when it's going right into right in from Havdalah into the another holiday. And since we start the Tikkun Leil Shavuot that evening, and that will begin their programs from 7 o'clock on, my suggestion would be that we probably don't have this that evening, and instead you can participate in any and all of the other programs starting at 7 o'clock or any time after that, through to the last slide is 11 o'clock the next morning, when I will be leading morning service and Yisker with Rabbi Erica Ash from Augusta, Maine. So
Is that just the Shavuot I thought started on the Sunday night?
Oh, you're right. It is Sunday night. Thank you. So we have Havdalah. That's the 16th, and the 15th is Saturday. My apology. You're
That's
right.
okay. You
We
just
have-
were getting me confused because I've been known to not know what day. It's this last week, I was in the wrong week all week, so.
You think you're the only one. You're not. So anyway, for the 35th day of the Omer, I wanted to share a piece from Rabbi Karen Kadar's materials for accounting Omer, which is sort of a nice place, I think, to go after the story that Rachel just shared as well. We live one small moment at a time, one breath, one glance, one thought at a time. And yet, doesn't life feel like a freight train, a long, deafening, fast blur? Is it trite to you to say that you are the conductor and the engine and the track? You own the train and its cargo and its route. This is your life to imagine. Do not neglect the details. Do not turn away from the quiet voices within. They speak of love, of destiny, of goodness. Do not silence the thoughts that tell you to slow down. They want to capture your attention and show you something grand. Do not ignore the heart that desires to rejoice. Listen to the voices of the children at play. They delight. Learn to be delighted. Listen to the early morning hum of your home, the quiet sounds before others awake. Notice that what you see all around is beauty, no matter where you are, no matter what your state. Right before your eyes, beauty awaits. Because yours is the breath, the glance, the one simple, precious thought. And with that thought, we can together continue with counting of the Omer. I'm ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Praised be you, Adonai our God, who rules the universe, instilling in us the holiness of mitzvot by commanding us to count the Omer. And tonight begins the 35th day of the Omer. So with that, we will continue now with Havdalah. So I invite you to light your candle. And we'll take our wine or juice. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei me'orei ha'esh borei me'orei Ha'esh. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben or lechol ben yom hashvi'i l'sheshet yemei Baruch atah Adonai hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. We savor the last moments of Shabbat together and now prepare to put the flame out in our wine of juice. I invite you to unmute to sing along with me, Eliyahu Hanavi. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimei Rabbi Yameinu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu. And we sing together Shavua Tov, wishing everyone a good week. Shavua Tov, 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 a good week. A week of peace, gladness reign, and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign, and joy increase. So Shavua Tov to everyone. Maybe a good week. It's going to get warmer. We'll get another taste of spring, I hope, instead of just Binghamton style spring where it alternates from season to season to season. And, everyone should have a great week.